Hey guys, welcome back to Everlasting Summer Part 12. Let's begin.
He sounds all spent, you see? All of his time in our club, all.
So, disappearing just like that is unusual for him?
Of course.
Seems like Electronic calmed down. Okay. He looked at me intently.
Are you going to wash?
Not really. Just rinse off a little. It is hot.
Me too.
He looked around.
I wish there was a bucket or a ladle, something to get more water with.
Yeah, I noticed already.
Then let's do this.
He walked behind the washstands and pulled on one of the tabs. To my surprise, its end turned up, and rather than pouring into the wash bowl, the water splashed up at almost 90 degrees. You could manage to wash yourself that way. Ooh, sexy Electronic.
Ladies, avert your eyes.
This is not for women of upstanding natures. Meanwhile, Electronic took off his shirt and then squatted, so it seemed like he pulled down his shorts. I couldn't really tell because the washstand was behind, concealed him up to his waist. He directed the stream towards himself and started to sing something quietly.
Let's clean my chimney, chimney sweep.
I stood astonished, not knowing what to do. He seemed to notice.
I'll wash myself and then let you use it.
Gosh, I got such a massive chill. Well, I just remembered that I have something to do. Gotta go. Out of all the eccentrics of Electronic, the moment I just saw was the weirdest one.
Hey, what's up with you? A cold shower on such a hot day is like the best thing ever.
No, no, no. That won't do. And anyways, I have to go. I put on my shirt quickly and ran back into the forest. Wonder what's got into him. I went for lunch with mixed feelings, with a sense of accomplishment and the realization of time wasted. The canteen was crowded. I couldn't stay unnoticed. Olga called me. Simeon, come with us. The camp leader, Slavia, and Electronic were sitting at the 4-seat table. I nodded and went to get my food. This time I had to spend several minutes in the queue. Today's menu didn't really differ from the other day's menus. You know what, Simeon? 7 minutes in a queue, I welcome that. I've spent 20 minutes in queue before. It's fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous! The dishes looked the same, at least. When I sat at the table and wished bon appetit to everyone, Olga said, "So, what are you thinking? About what? We searched for Shirk all around. It's noon and he's nowhere to be found." I took note of the rhyme, but didn't want to point it out. We looked all over the camp.
I went all around the neighboring forest.
Olga looked at me, and I helped too. We must call the police. Maybe we should wait until the evening? I asked lazily. Maybe he went home. That can't be. Shirk lives thousands of miles away. By train? The nearest station. She paused. Is far off. Now it was getting interesting. Every time the conversation reached the point concerning ways I could leave Sovyonok, all the camp inhabitants started changing the subject. How far is far? Really far. The camp leader looked at me, indicating with her expression that asking more questions was not advised. So we should go deeper into the forest. Maybe he got lost.
Shirk always takes a compass,
chimed in Electronic. Wonder what else could be found in his magic vest, assuming he has one. If I were to get lost in the forest, a compass would be of no real use. Police! We should call the police in the evening. Not right now, at least. Okay, so you'll do it later. They all went silent. We should be able to find him before evening. We still have time. If he actually got lost, we have no time to lose. We can't be sure. Then where is he? Where? There was some truth to the camp leader's words. Hiding the whole day just like that is suspicious. Why would he do that? Shirk seemed to be quite a serious pioneer. Lana would have been a better fit for this behavior. So there is a good reason to believe that he was gone. All that can be done has already been done. We'll just have to wait. Slavia, Electronic, and Olga looked at me sorrowfully, but didn't say a word. I finished my lunch, took the tray back, and left the canteen. It's still the first half of the day. What now? The camp was drifting off for the afternoon nap. Only Jinda stared at me through his glasses. Bleh. Of course he was staring somewhere else, but I had a feeling that he was constantly watching me. I bet he knows where Shirik is hiding. He just can't say anything. The disappearance of the Cybernetics Club's leader made me think. Maybe it's got something to do with my case. Oh, Pioneer. The nurse stood in front of me. I looked at her curiously. Go and take my place in the infirmary. I have an urgent call. Somebody's been injured. Me? Yes, you. Take the keys. The nurse threw me the keys and ran away. Why me? Isn't there anyone else in this camp? What exactly should I be doing? What if something happens? Oh, what do I do now? I missed my chance to refuse. I stood in front of the door uncertainly. On the one hand, there is nothing to worry about. I'll spend half an hour or so here and she'll be back. But what if someone comes to actual help? With a broken leg or a head injury? I began to worry too much. I hope that there are no injuries more serious than bruises and scratches in this camp. But at the same time, I could not shake the idea that in a serious situation I would be absolutely useless. I didn't even know how to perform CPR. A magazine on the nurse's table caught my attention. A good way to relax, I guess. This is labeled Soviet Fashion. The publication date or month were absent. However, this was not a surprise. There were much stranger things happening here. I didn't know much about Soviet magazines. Maybe they didn't actually have a publication date on them. Models dressed in old-fashioned clothes stared at me from the glossy pages. Nowadays, nobody would wear such clothes. I smirked. I wonder if Slavia, for example, considered this fashionable. I can only imagine what would happen if she appeared in my time wearing something like this. Imagine we are walking hand in hand. I'm wearing my coat with the hood and she is dressed in a lavish dress, covered with lace and things. Seems like I'm already imagining Slavia in my world, with me. And not only Slavia. This dress better suits Lana. This cute sarafan would look good on Alyssa. This skirt and cardigan would look nice on Lana. If only they could be real. No, I saw them, heard them, could even touch them. But still, they're here and I simply don't belong in this place. It's alien to me. I'm just waiting for a chance to get out of here. Waiting because nothing is up to me anymore. I sighed, put my head on the table, and fell asleep. I was awoken by the noise of the door opening. Lana stood at the door. The nurse isn't here? Then I'll come back later. I'm substituting for her. Since I am responsible for pioneers' lives, I should do it with full responsibility. Although in fact, I was just afraid of something bad happening because of me. Any health complaints? I tried to give Lana the most professional smile I could in order not to confuse her. Nothing special. Just a little headache. Let's do this. Some painkillers, maybe? Of course I wasn't aware where to find required medicines, so it took me a while to find them. Finally, I handed a metamizole tablet to Lana. Thanks, she smiled. That was completely unexpected, and I lost touch with reality, staring at her. What? Lana turned awkward in an instant. Listen, I've been wondering, do you like this? I don't know what got into me, but I grabbed that magazine from the table and showed her that picture of a skirt and cardigan, which would really suit Lana in my opinion. Maybe I went completely nuts, thinking about all the girls being in my world. Or maybe I wanted to distract myself, instead of just waiting for the nurse to come back. Lana looked at the picture. Yeah, I guess. Is stuff like this in fashion? I guess. She got confused and started blushing. Why do you ask? Really, why? Huh? What does this say?
Baby, you would look gorgeous.
Thank you. It's alright, I'm just being completely honest. We were quiet for some time. How's your headache? Much better, thank you. Painkillers take longer to kick in than that, don't they? I don't know much about medicine. She smiled. I'll be off. Good luck. Lana went out and I continued to look through the magazine. After a while, somebody knocked at the door again. Seems that the infirmary is the most popular place to go. Suddenly, I decided to roleplay a nurse. Just a male version. And said, "Come in." The door opened and Lana entered the room. Wow, did I miss the moment when you decided to start knocking? Anything wrong with me knocking? She frowned. Where does it hurt? Why on earth would I tell you? Where's the nurse? Right in front of you. I imposingly crossed my legs and looked questioningly at her. You know what? Go talk to the head nurse in Katawashoyo. I'm sure he'll have some tips for you. I'd better go. It'd be better to die than be treated by you. She smiled mischievously. You didn't even let me try. Lana thought for a moment. Though you could give me some pills. What's bothering you? It took her some time to reply. A heavy stomach. Sure it's not an empty head? I muttered under my breath. What did you say? Nothing, give me a second. I found the pills in the first drawer and I opened. Thank you, doctor. She smiled cheerfully. Watching Lana, I could not imagine how such an optimistic and active child could have any health problems. That one wouldn't even make sense. We got the candies back. Considering the local cuisine, it's not that surprising. Maybe. She smirked. I see you're still alive and kicking. Well, I'm not complaining. Bye! Lana ran out of the infirmary, slamming the door. Again, I went back to studying Soviet fashion trends. Time passed, but the nurse was still absent. I wasn't searching for Shurik, wasn't looking for any clues concerning my situation. I was just sitting and flipping through a magazine. Just for a moment, I felt quite satisfied with this situation. So far, everything that has happened here could be seen as just a trip to a summer camp, and if nothing changes anytime soon, then I can stop worrying. Again, somebody knocked on the door. Did I miss the outbreak of an epidemic? Slavia was standing at the doorway. Oh, hi. Isn't the nurse here? Hi. No, she's not here. I'm taking over for today. Great. I'd like... She hesitated. What? By the way, Simeon, Slavia said and looked intently at me. What? It seems like I lost my keys. Have you seen them anywhere? Sure I have. Yeah, here. I found them near the canteen yesterday. I wanted to return them to you, but forgot about it. I was really bad at lying. My cheeks were red, my eyes were wandering around, and hands were constantly shaking. Here. I was already preparing myself for an appropriate scolding, but Slavia only took the keys and said, Thanks. So, what have you come for? I really needed to change the subject. Does anything hurt? No, it's nothing. Strange. I wouldn't even think that such an open person as Slavia would keep something quiet. If there's something bothering you, tell me. That's why I'm here, to treat people. I smiled widely. No. I mean, yes, but no. Hearing that made anything possible, even this vision by zero. So, how can I help you? You? I guess you can't. She smiled and was going to leave, but suddenly stopped. However, could you step out for a minute? Why not? Okay. I stepped out of the infirmary and leaned against the wall. I wonder what might she be doing, something that I can't even see? After a minute, the door opened and Slavia came out. She was carrying a small bundle. I wanna know what you're hiding in that bundle. What is it? Nothing, she blushed. Thank you. You're welcome. Slavia ran away. Seems like I shouldn't have asked. Aw, well, fuck. I looked at the time. It was getting late. I'd read the magazine backwards and forwards, but the nurse still wasn't here. Read. Suddenly the door burst open and Alyssa rushed inside. She looked at me piercingly. What are you doing here? Sitting, I admitted honestly. Okay then. It's even better without the nurse, she murmured. Are you sick? I asked acidically. Alyssa didn't answer and came closer to me. Move over. Why? So I can open the drawer, isn't it obvious? What for? She got angry. None of your business! Well, I'm kind of in charge here. She gave it a moment's thought. Then give me some activated carbon. Stomachache? Yeah. She grinned sharply. I got the feeling there was something wrong here. Fuck, I can't read that unless I scroll over it. Nope. Really? A stomachache? Really? Doesn't seem so. What? Do I have to toss my lunch all over this place for you to believe me? I don't know what terrible things can be done with activated carbon, but I'm sure you will think of something. She hesitated. And what if you're right? There! I knew it! Then I'm certainly not giving you anything. Alyssa tried to get to the drawers, but I blocked the pillbox with my chest like Alexander Mostrov. Alexander Matrasov was a Soviet infantry soldier during the Great Patriotic War, posthumously awarded the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union for blocking German machine gun with his chest. For all her impudence, she was still just a girl, and she had no choice of pushing me aside. No chance, bleh. Whatever, I'll find it somewhere else. She turned away and headed to the exit. At the door, Alyssa stopped and looked back. By the way, the camp leader and the nurse are carrying a pioneer with a broken leg. I really don't care, but they seem to be struggling. Yeah, sure. Come see for yourself. Alyssa seemed to be lying, but on the other hand, as long as I can see her. I came to the door and looked outside. No one was there. Where exactly? They haven't reached here yet? She made a helpless gesture. Have fun. I returned to the table and only then realized that one of the drawers was open. How did she make it so quick? I turned my back for just a second, though what evil can come from activated carbon? It was 15 minutes till dinner, and the nurse still wasn't back. I guess just leaving the place like this won't do. She asked me to look after it after all. And who knows what might happen if I leave. Though who would want to steal anything from here? Except for Alyssa stealing activated carbon. I opened the magazine again and began flopping through it for the nth time. Bleh. The fashion of the 80s wasn't that fun anymore. Yawning got me several times. It was already 6 o'clock, so dinner had already started. Of course I had to be on watch till the end, but my stomach seemed to have its own opinion on the matter. I stood up and steadily headed to the exit. A rustling sound came from behind the door. Could it be someone else who got poisoned, broke their arm, or something even worse? I sighed heavily and pulled the doorknob. However, there was no one out there. Seems like it was just my imagination. I returned inside and instantly noticed that something had changed in the infirmary. To be precise, an apple had appeared on the table. But where from? Fruits can't just materialize from thin air by themselves, can they? Though in this camp anything is possible. Chances are someone just brought it here. Maybe Lana wanted to thank me, given that she's all shy and... But wait, how could she just slip past me like that? Lana wouldn't climb through the window after all. So there must be something else. I was suddenly overwhelmed by fear. What if the apple is poisoned? Though why would someone complicate things, when I'm here totally helpless and can be killed way more easily? Or it might be the apple which Eve tasted in the Garden of Eden? In that case, I certainly shouldn't eat it. The same second my stomach reminded me it was there by rumbling traitorously. However, it would take time to close the infirmary to reach the canteen to get food. My stomach is about to eat itself. There's nothing wrong, I guess. Once again, I tried to remember if this apple was here before. In the end, it must have appeared from somewhere. Maybe it got here through the window. The shutter was slightly open, so someone must have reached in and put it here. Nothing serious, however.
I will eat that delicious apple.
Finally, hunger prevailed, and I started chewing on the ripe green apple with gusto. It tastes somewhat normal, though I don't think that even the strongest poison can be tasted. Okay, I'll end it there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.